I'm excited. I bought the movie, the classic American film, Ocean's 11. And I'm going to make my wife watch it tonight.
Awesome.
She's never seen it.
Yeah, no, you gotta watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I've never watched it either.
Well, you have to watch it.
I don't want to. What's it about? 11 Oceans?
When I marry you, I'll make you watch it.
Shit.
You will be the wife, after all. Just in case we leave any of this in, I want to be clear that I understand that's not how homosexual marriages work.
Somebody has to be the wife! How could it be?
But I do find it endearing when they openly decide for themselves.
Right. Like, I am now the wife. It's funny, because when somebody says who's the wife, that's blatantly homophobic. But when someone's like, I'm the wife, that's adorable.
Right? It's like... And that's the dichotomy of life. It's all complicated, and you can't make sense of any of it, except for maybe some of it. Mm-hmm. But we're gonna. What the crazy thing is, before we even know what we're wrong about, we'll be dead.
Yeah, man.
I'm starting this show on fire. Thanks for the slushy, smoothie,
slushies, yeah,
icy.
These slushes.
Gah!
Welcome to I'm Not Comfortable With This, the show where you...
Move this a little bit your way, because I'm probably going to be kind of loud today.
Yeah, this is, it's an auspicious day in the fact that this is the most mundane goddamn day in the world. We got slushies. If you live in the South...
Corporate.
Go to Sonic and grab yourself a lime cream slush. It tastes like you're drinking key lime pie. It does. Delightful. Yeah, it's wonderful, right? Make sure you get it with real fruit and not lime syrup.
I'm going to drink mine after I finish my caffeine, which I clearly need. Ah!
Yeah.
What is this show even about? Let's do a fucking hour of this.
We'll put the intro in here. That was the intro.
I accidentally swore.
Oh shit. We've been recording for, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine.
I probably walked in the room saying all kinds of
just kick the door and shit fuck down.
How long were you recording? Did you record the whole conversation about the furniture?
Yeah, well, we're not going to put that in because that's just, us talking about furniture, but like it's whatever. Like that we'll find...
we were discussing our favorite types of...
I'm partial to ottomans. But the whole thing I've been trying lately to start filming even before we are actually planning on podcasting, because doing this, whatever it is, because every single time for the first probably 20 or 30 episodes of this show, Ben would come in the room and we'd kind of do pleasantries. He'd come in and we'd talk and chat. We'd chill in the living room for a little while, have a drink, hang out, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna now, I guess, go do the show.
Let's go do the show.
But by that time, we had already said so much shit that I wanted to then go back and try to recreate that conversation, and I couldn't organically do that, so I had to kind of find a way to weasel in the words.
The most uncomfortable thing about this show is trying to get the conversations that were the entire idea for the show in the first place.
Right? And so now, rather than fucking around with that, I've decided to just strictly monetize our entire friendship. And every time you come in, every time you come over, I'm already recording, and we'll just start from there.
It sounds bad.
But no matter what.
It sounds bad, but I know about it,
but
and I sign off on it.
It's no matter what happens, every time we stop recording, within 5 minutes, you say something hysterical. I'm like, damn it.
And let's be honest, if you can't monetize a friendship, then why were you friends?
Right. Why be with somebody if you can't make money off of it? What are they doing for you? That's what you need to ask. What have you done for me lately? That's what you need to ask every person that you love, every person you know, every person you meet.
Yeah, selfishness wins the day.
The day is won. You can't recycle fucking styrofoam anywhere, by the way. I was thinking about this cup, because I'm going to recycle the straw, and I'm going to recycle the lid, but the cup.
Why?
You can't recycle styrofoam because
Why?
it's you actually can recycle some styrofoam, but it's so horribly inefficient that it's basically not even worth it, and so people don't do, because of course there's a monetization side of everything, and so like they just generally don't do it. No recycling place will take styrofoam.
It's almost
Even
like
that,
we shouldn't use it.
like we fucking shouldn't.
It's almost
Plastics
like
and
we shouldn't
things.
use it.
Like the only reason I'm using this right now is because I got it from a drive-through. Like I would like to be using reusable plastic supplies, but like I went to a drive-through, I got a cup, and that sucks.
How does that even work? Do you is it like because they would have to make a thing where everybody brings their fucking drive-through?
Right, and then that's not sanitary to hand them your cup, and like it's I think Starbucks does that. If you bring your reusable coffee cup, they'll take it and refill it for you. But how gross? What's on that you're now touching with your hands? You know what I mean? What if they smeared their feces on it, and then fucking you're gonna put that in your machine? Like what's that all about? And like reusable straws are pretty easy, but like
smeared their feces on it?
Man, dude, I've worked retail. You've worked retail. You know what happens. People put a whole thing up their ass and then try to return it 6 years later, like they just bought it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like
they do that with their asses and products.
It sucks because like the simple fact of the matter is, if I was living somewhere that was more environmentally conscious, like if we were living in California or something, I bet we could get paper straws and like a reusable cup at the drive-thru or something like that. But we're not. We're in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
no
but people
business
are just going to tell you to go live in fucking California.
I don't want to. It's expensive as dicks, and everyone's a jerk.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
So
Everybody
you
in California.
Make Oklahoma, California.
Everybody in California is a jerk. You hear me? If you live in California, fuck you.
Damn.
but like,
I think it all. This is fun because like I was already thinking earlier. I want to talk about like conversations, and I think this will lead into that nicely because I want to have a conversation about conversations.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll get there, sure.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
I'll drive us right into that damn.
But like the fact is, like we don't have I don't want to use the word infrastructure, but like the setup here in Oklahoma to even be environmentally conscious enough to make a difference.
Is great. We don't have the setup anywhere to do anything.
We have there are certain parts of the country that really do.
There are certain parts of the country that do, but we're a big ass country, and I think we got to look at ourselves that way, even if we do have places that like states.
Right. Well, and I think
freedoms.
States' rights. I think it's also important to point out the fact that like I could use 10 single-use plastic straws every day for my entire life, and it wouldn't do a fraction of the damage that fucking Nestle does in literally 3 seconds. So like, what is it? You know what I mean? What does it fucking matter? Like unless we have big systemic changes. It's like asking, okay, well, if you want to solve homelessness, how many homeless people do you have in your house? It's like, dude, if there's a massive fucking boulder...
Yeah, every time there's a refugee crisis.
Exactly.
Like how many did you let 10 refugees into your house?
Exactly, yeah.
What?
It's like, if there's a fucking massive boulder and I'm like, hey, we all need to help move this boulder, you don't need to tell me to move it by myself to convince you to help moving it. We just all need to move it. And so, like, if we have a fucking climate crisis or a homelessness crisis or a refugee crisis... We should just all fix it without being like, well, you didn't do the... Like with,
that's very complicated to say we all should do anything, though. You know that. And that also...
It should be... Yeah, I should clarify that I am grossly oversimplifying a lot of serious geopolitical issues.
We could all do a lot of stuff if I made us do it.
You made us do it. You make us watch Ocean's 11 and make us solve homelessness.
Mankind could accomplish many of my goals.
You just have to marry us all.
Yeah. That's how you get people to do things.
Become wed to them.
Yeah, you say, I never leave. Ever. Now watch Ocean's 11 with me.
That's what
they get it. They love Ocean's 11.
They love this show.
Have any sense. No, but it's like it's the conversation because I was reading like it sucks because I feel like we can't even talk about infrastructure and important shit like infrastructure because there's a disconnect. Here's the thing. America is a giant country. We're not, but we are.
You heard it here first, folks.
We're spread out a lot, and then we have really big sprawling urban areas, and then we have places like outside of towns like Tulsa and Oklahoma City and shit where it gets more and more sparse. And there's places even more sparse than places in Oklahoma and Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Nevada,
some places get fucking insane. So, like, there's not there is no one size solution for many of these issues in America. Like we can't say, like I see all these articles that are like, we have to stop trying to make electric cars because it's not going to save us, and it's true. Like, right, the article is true.
Right.
We need to get more urban transportation going. We need more like efficient subways, bus systems, rail, but especially rail, like all that shit. Yeah, we need that in these urban centers, but that message means nothing to people who live 100 miles from anybody else.
Right. When you
they
live in, like,
would
a
need
rural
an
community.
electric car that can get them to town.
Seriously,
or an electric truck. So like,
and even that, electric cars aren't going to be super useful until they can go like a couple hundred miles on one charge, because like people aren't going to want to stop
straight
every 20
up.
minutes.
But that's like a goal that's achievable, right? Like
it's very achievable.
That
it's
is something we can do eventually.
The early electric cars that could get you around town and then you had to charge it every single night are not as great as the newer ones, which can go like fucking 200 miles. Because to get to Oklahoma City, that's about a 100-mile trip. Yeah. So I can't, if I have to go there for the day to do something and come back, I can't find a charging station. I can't take my car there. It's useless to me if I'm doing that. It gets me around Tulsa just fine, but if I have to drive to OKC and back, I need something that has at least 250 miles in it. At least. And that's cutting it real close.
One, they got to put charging stations places. Two, they're developing it, but all kinds of systems that they can put in place that will also help charge it while it's running, just like a regular car would.
Yeah.
Like
have you seen those?
They've done the stuff with the brakes, right? Like where you have the brakes and the brakes generate energy.
Yeah, to convert the friction. Have you seen the ones that
it's
it's like electric car racing, and where they do like the pit stop, they change out the whole battery packs? Mm-hmm. Like that'd be rad if you had like interchangeable parts that you
batteries
can just pull
are their own problem, though.
What do you mean?
What? Environmentally?
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I thought you meant like there was some other fucking issue that.
Well, there is another issue currently, which is we still don't.
We just can't find them. You keep digging, and it's very rare to find a battery in the ground.
The battery mines. There's like guys down there with they like digging up Duracells and shit.
The fucking
holy shit, guys! Oh no, there's no Kias.
Oh shit!
They don't make those anymore.
Guys, I got these Energizer fucking vein over here. Oh, so stupid.
Ugh. It's like pumping out Duracell and Energizer batteries. This one's sick.
So stupid.
Everything we just said is like really dumb, but
and I mean
that is its own problem, right? Like the way we mine for that stuff, and I do think that like this whole thing with environmentalism sucks for me, because I agree that we have a responsibility to take care of the environment, right? Like 100%. Yeah. I also don't like the idea, and don't like the idea is such a fucked up way to try to say it, and I don't know really how to say it. I'm not sold on this idea that we can just completely live in harmony with nature either, because I think it is our nature to like change nature, like, and to construct through the natural world rather than around it. Right, so like it doesn't mean I think it's impossible for us to like help the earth and keep it the way we want it to be so that we can live too. I just think that like I think there's so many people with like weird compartmentalized ideas about how we should go about these things. Yeah. And they don't stop to think like there's a lot of ways to live on the planet for just people. Right. And that's why you gotta have like all these different problems, or all these the same problems need multiple solutions.
It is kind of weird when you talk about like living in harmony with nature and all that, because it is a very capitalistic idea to say that like, all right, we have to take from nature in order to live, and so it's very difficult to have a give and take with that, and like all these things. There are other schools of thought that would argue more along the lines of like, no, there is this perfect balance that can be achieved, but the honest truth of it is, even if you want to go down that road where you're like, no, actually we can, have enough fungi in this area to balance out the carbon footprint of a person or whatever. I can grow enough algae on my roof to make my house sustainable and like absorb enough energy, whatever. Like, that's fine. The fact of the matter is, an ecosystem has a carrying capacity. Like, there is a certain, we have 8 billion goddamn humans just about. We're coming close to 8 billion. So like, we would have to figure out a new way to work a lot of systems out. And it would be a very, very, very significant change. So to say that we can just snap our fingers and everything will be pretty normal, but we'll have a more harmonious existence, is a gross oversimplification, coming from somebody whose job is to grossly oversimplify stuff, it's a very extreme oversimplification of the truth. Because even then, like, if everybody lived like Americans lived in terms of like land ownership and like agricultural need and things like that, we need 2 other planets just to fucking like farm and put people on.
They don't like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like you've got like the people out in the woods need the people in the cities to exist to an extent, and the people in the cities also like not everybody can live in the city.
Yeah. Like, and so like if we want to have a more harmonious ecological existence, yeah. If we want to have a better existence, we need to change a lot of shit, namely our eating habits, how we grow things, how our cities are so separate from the nature around them. You see those pictures of like all the skyscrapers like trees growing out of them.
Yeah,
those don't actually make a lot of sense. And so like you've gotta there are ways to do things kind of like that, but not exactly like that.
Yeah, like you can have the stuff where like you have more like median spaces, more green space in the sidewalks and and near the roads and shit, which helps with a lot of stuff, and it's good for everybody. But like you can't just make like, oh, like everything is green.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah, and so like there's
especially
actually
in places like New York or someplace that's been there already for way too long as it is.
Yeah,
it's already a city on top of a city.
Yep,
it's like in Futurama or some.
There's
shit,
fucking one that I struggle with as well. A lot of people, Americans' obsession with having some sort of meat in every single meal. That's bizarre to most of the world. To have meat in every single meal of the day, even 2 or 3 of the meal. Like you have to have a protein of some kind, and that needs to be meat, or it could be any kind of like serious vegetable that has protein in it. You'd be fine. There's a lot of people who are just straight up vegetarian. Like a lot of cultures that are completely vegetarian, and sometimes they'll have like a meat as a luxury. But like, no, there's no reason for that. And I can tell you from experience, when I eat like vegetable fried rice or something, I don't feel I can be completely full and I don't feel right unless I've eaten like a little piece of chicken or something like that. And then okay, now it is a meal complete because my brain's been conditioned that way, and it's bullshit. And so like
conditioned.
Yeah.
It's like a contortion conditioning. It sounds awful.
But like I haven't like I haven't had enough exposure to, just strictly vegetarian food. Not necessarily vegan, but like, you know what I mean?
What is a vegan?
Veganism is it's vegetarianism to the extreme. It's absolutely no animal products whatsoever.
That seems fine.
So like no butter, no cheese.
You can do that though. You can
do that if you want. Some people do it for dietary reasons, like because they have to for health reasons, and that's totally fine. But like a lot of people also talk about veganism as if it's like this fucking moral holy grail. Like you're an asshole if you're not a vegan.
Yeah, but I think those people are young and they'll grow out.
That's the most condescending thing we've ever said.
I know. I'm an asshole. But like, no, what I really mean by that is I think like most people, like when they do that, they're coming from a point of extreme empathy, and I understand it, but extreme empathy can be dangerous.
Well, it makes sense to like say, oh, the animal industry sucks. I agree. The meat industry sucks. It's terrible. Still also, though, meat is important for a lot of people's diets. We evolved eating meat. It's good for us. It's okay. This nonsense that, like, we evolved to be vegetarians and then we're corrupted to eat meat. No. But, like, the main problem with veganism
it's so weird
is that, like, number one...
To think that, like, an animal, like humans, were, like, corrupted.
Right. The main issues with veganism... Like,
that's a dumb religious type ideology.
It's very weird.
When you hear stuff like that...
how do you deal,
Just double check it. That's all I'm saying.
It's ignoring the fact that, like, number one, a lot of vegan foods, to replace the meat proteins and things like that, they use things like soy and wheat and peanuts.
Good shit.
Which are, like, the most common food allergies in the world. So that right there is a pretty big barrier for people. Also, when you talk about fucking quinoa and shit, everyone loves quinoa, and it's this big. It's a staple crop for certain like South American villages, and now we're mass producing it to ship it up to some dickhead with a man bun in California, And so we are exploiting these resources that these people depend on. We are displacing native indigenous peoples by building insane kiwa operations. And Heart of Palm, we're clear-cutting huge rainforests in Indonesia.
This comes back to my fucking ultimate problem, Forrest, which is I don't know how anything can ever get fixed because nobody understands the problems and everybody's a part of them.
Exactly.
Because, like, yeah, you got these people, like, right, they're just trying to eat healthy and they think they might be doing something good for animals and good for the environment, and they're actually just doing the same thing as everybody else because there is no escape.
Not to mention the fact that most of the time
there's no escape. It doesn't matter what you do.
Not just vegan
and that
shit.
doesn't mean you shouldn't purchase morally if that's your thing, but it also won't matter.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that fucking vegan shit, organic shit,
I mean it.
All of this moral shopping, it's important, but it's also expensive.
I wish it worked. I'm sorry. I wish we could buy our way out of hell, but we can't.
It's because it just requires more capitalism to do that, which means it's continuing the problem. But like, this stuff is prohibitively expensive for a lot of people, so they can't shop morally. You have to I have to go to Walmart and buy this shit. We've talked about that before.
You cannot shop morally.
I was buying...
The buck stops at you. It's impossible in the first place. I was wearing
Amazon brand pants for a very long time because they were cheap and they worked. And I know I'm feeding Daddy Bezos, but fuck, dude, I needed pants. Like, what did you want me to do? Like,
you gotta find a way to get Daddy Bezos to feed you.
That's what it's all about.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's all about.
And I think you've stumbled onto it with the phrase Daddy Bezos. I think you need to send him a strongly worded email.
About how he is for sure my father. You know those people...
Don't use the word father.
You know those people...
the word daddy, he's going to like that more.
This is like a thing on the internet that people do. They will send wedding invitations... to just random politicians or what do you call it, celebrities.
Would you not, though?
With the assumption that, like, because what happens is these people see this invitation, they're like, oh, I probably met this person, I don't remember them, and they don't want to be a dick, so they just send them, like, a gift or a check. And they're like, sorry, I can't make it, here's $100. Have a great wedding.
Great.
Miss you guys. And then you have this money from this person, or you get a little letter or something from them, and that's exciting. Like, maybe we should all do that to Jeff Bezos and just all send him, like, paternity claims. Like, fucking, you owe us all so much back child support, dude.
No, I think that's, like, super fraudulent. I think if you just invite him to because if you invite somebody to a wedding, you can be like, oh, fuck, that was supposed to go to my uncle, Melinda Gates. Like... And they're gonna be like, "Are you sure you're thinking of the right person?" And it's like, "Yeah, my uncle,
Melinda Gates."
Do you want to double down on this, or do you want me to triple, quadruple backflip down?
You want me to fucking pull up Ancestry.com and show you my uncle Melinda Gates?
I will search endlessly through Ancestry.com, pretending I'm about to find Melinda Gates, my uncle, until they leave me alone about it. That's what Casey Anthony did. When they were investigating her, she took her to a place. It was like the Orlando place.
The Orlando place.
Orlando. Why was she like for Orlando Studios?
No, Universal Studios.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She was saying she worked for them, and I think, and she didn't, and she took the investigators to like the building and walked around with them, saying like, "You remember everybody? You remember me?" And they were all like,
"I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
That's real shit."
My God.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of like true crime stuff, and that's funny. That's one of the stories that will live with me forever. Everything is stupid all the time. It's stupid all the time. Anybody who thinks anything going on is like controlled and makes any sense at all, they're wrong. It's
Amber
chaos.
was just telling
no
me
one's
about
at the
this.
Wheel.
Amber is doing a lot of true crime stuff, not only because she just loves it, but also because for school.
She's doing a lot of true crime.
But she's studying a lot of this stuff for school right now, and she was telling me this story about this fucking lady who she had a husband and kids, and she went out for a jog and just never came back. And then like weeks later, she came back all fucking like beat the shit up and like branded on her arm and stuff. And she was like, "These fucking Mexican cartel people kidnapped me and like chained me up in a dungeon and were gonna sell me into sex slavery, and they made me do these horrible things." She had this huge fucking elaborate story about what happened to her, and it all turned out that she fucking just didn't want to be around her family anymore, so she just fucked off and got a boyfriend, and then decided, I don't want to deal with this anymore, and then just punched the shit out of herself and branded her own arm and came home and was like, sorry guys, I had to get mad by the cartel.
Well, how'd they find out that she wasn't telling the truth?
I think her story just fell apart at some point. And like several people, it became like a big national story, and several people were like, hey, I know that bitch, I dated that bitch, and she was like an extreme lying, manipulative narcissist who's just lying about everything.
And
this sounds like the shit she used to say when she cheated on me.
Was like, we didn't do
hey
it.
guys, we didn't want her either. Oh man, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how much those things, these fucking were lying peoples, just go to extreme lengths to fucking push their bullshit. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Oh man.
Crazy. It's all just people talking over each other, dude.
Talking over each other.
It goes. It's all just like when I watched fucking the Repo Men, man.
Repo Men?
The real Repo Men, not the ones from the movies. The ones that go take people's cars. It's always the same shit. I realize that all society's problems boil down to a conversation between a repo man and a person who's having their car repossessed. Right? He's like, it's my job to tow the car, and they're like, I need the car to survive, and he's like, yeah. And then, but I gotta tow it, and they're like, no, you can't tow it, and he's like, I'm gonna tow it, and then he tows it, and he makes a buck, and that person spends money that they didn't have to get the thing back, and a bunch of paperwork gets shuffled around through the court system and the businesses, and none of it matters.
That is all.
And everybody, like, a lot of people care about the individuals in these stories, but it doesn't matter because they're all just doing whatever it is until they can go home and go to sleep. Nothing works.
Yeah.
Nothing works.
No.
I know it looks like it's working.
It's not working.
But it's not working.
It's not working. Do you know that indigenous people in Hawaii, like native Hawaiians, are not able to fucking buy real estate in fucking Hawaii because it's so expensive now? Because gentrification is nothing new. People moving in.
I thought you were telling me they weren't
allowed.
Yeah, it's illegal.
No, gentrification is nothing new.
Can we own some of the land that our ancestors were fucking born on? It's like,
no. But that's basically how it's going, because like the property value is going up is one thing. But what's happening is all these fucking rich assholes are buying all of the property in Hawaii and then not living there. They're just using it as Airbnbs or vacation homes. And so now there is so little property anywhere that you can actually afford. It's the most expensive state in the U.S. And there's a huge problem now where the native population is the hardest hit on this, where they cannot afford to live in their own fucking ancestral homeland. And the main landowners in Hawaii are rich assholes in New York who just want a home in Hawaii.
Damn.
Yeah. How crazy is that shit, dude? I was watching this thing. These people were talking about how, like,
is the government in Hawaii like trying to do anything about it?
No, of course not. They don't give. It's the American government. They don't give a shit.
But it is like a state government. They could give a shit if they wanted to.
No,
that's the whole point of states' rights.
But they fucking lean hard into the.
That is really one of the biggest thing was that like the federal government won't be able to push us around because we also have a local government who can say no.
Yeah.
No, where the fuck is that?
Right. But
it doesn't exist.
The state government in Hawaii.
We just talk about it when we want to make things better.
Right. The state government in Hawaii is super big on the tourism industry. They're the aloha state, and everybody has to have the aloha spirit and like fucking welcome in tourists all the time. Shit!
It's time for an ad break.
This is a perfect time.
I really hope we get a visit Hawaii ad break.
No, fuck. Okay, no, it's on. It's on again. All right, we got it. Yeah, but no, I was listening to these people talking about like how to them there is no such thing as like a good tourist. Like any person visiting that isn't a native is a problem because you are bringing in that you're perpetuating this whole industry of you're coming here just to exploit our culture. I want to do a luau. Oh, I want to eat a whole roast pig. Oh, somebody in a grass skirt should dance for me. Like that's the thing. I would love to go to Hawaii and explore it and learn about it and study the biodiversity there and do videos there. I do not want to go to a place where some poor fucker is paid minimum wage to say aloha all day long. You know what I mean? Like that, I don't want to just fucking sit there and like let this person exploit themselves so that I can have a fun. That sounds shitty for so many reasons.
I know, but a lot of people don't understand.
So much of
a lot of people don't understand that these jobs are exploitation. They think it's a job. A job
you can
sounds
go get
more
a different
honorable.
job if you don't like this job. It's like fucking where though, and
as
how?
long as
and
we call things jobs, they sound more honorable than like this is all you'll ever be land, which is where a lot of people get stuck. They get relegated to. Yeah. There is a coolness factor with America, which is you can potentially work yourself to a certain level where you're not so miserable. But, like, you can't just work yourself into the stratosphere. Like, it's not possible for everybody to just, like, become a celebrity.
We're never going to be billionaires.
And that's perpetuated here, like, heavily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're never going to be billionaires. And I don't fucking want to be. I don't fucking want to.
A lot of people can be, but one of the only ways you can become that rich is usually to exploit people.
And that's the damn.
Even good people are exploiting something, even if they're exploiting something stupid. If somebody goes and makes $1 million off of a YouTube video, but everybody who watched their YouTube video was 3, it's like, and let's assume the content was fine. Yeah. It didn't hurt anybody. The 3-year-olds are all fine. They just watched some ads, and the ads were fine for the 3-year-olds too, and everything was good. Yeah. But person made a lot of money off of it. It's fucked up in a way that they're making that money, and it's like, but it's also like, is it even on that person? Shit, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It just,
is it?
I don't think so, because the system is what the system is, and we have to keep feeding the machine. And like, so it's the same thing as like what we're talking about with fucking vegan foods, and it's the same thing we're talking about moral buying. It's the same thing we're talking about fucking visiting Hawaii. Is that the system is what the system is, and there needs to be major structural fundamental changes to everything if literally any action that is considered progress is actually going to be sustainable. I know, but
can you even get 50 people in a room who would 100% agree with your goals?
No, but like, could you get fucking 50 people in the room who 100% agree with how it is now?
No, but it's hard to get enough people to agree that we should all decide together what we should do. They can't even do that anymore. Dude. Like, people are so extreme. You have to be in an extreme encampment of some sort of weird bipartisan dichotomy.
Hoopla! Just saying words.
I don't like there's fucking, you either have to be all in or all out on any given issue.
Oh yeah, no, it's very polarized, because like every single time I criticize any Republican ever, all I get in my comment section is like, well Biden did blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't like Biden either. So what now? What? I'm like, well, yeah, but because Biden did these, I'm like, right, I agree. Biden sucks. Anything else? Well, you voted for Biden and like, yeah, all right, cool. And like, that's the whole thing. And I'm sorry to say it, because I don't want to sound like a centrist and say like fucking that, there's people on both sides. Because no, absolutely, conservatives are the fucking worst part of this country.
Conservatives are the least likely to listen to me and hear me out.
But like,
at all.
About
anything.
Fucking, but oh my god, so many fucking liberals are out there, like fucking, like, oh well, this bad thing happened and that ties into Trump. Like, I agree, Trump was fucking shit. Trump was fucking terrible. I agree. It was the worst president we've ever had by a long shot.
It's like the thing with the
But this has no, you're just finding a way to poke it. Or like when you see somebody who's like talking about fucking they're pro-life or something, and then they immediately lean into like, oh well, you support the fucking wall and you support the fucking the children in cages, and you don't know if they do all those things. You don't know if they are that kind of person. You just have one bit of information. You know that they have stance.
You're generalizing.
Don't call somebody an anti-vaxxer because they also came out here and fucking said that they're pro-life. Have a conversation about that.
You could say, how do you feel about the kids in cages?
Right, exactly. Like, you can make these arguments.
And like, because some people, not all, but some people would be like, I think that's really fucked up, and we should do something about it. And then you might, but a lot of them like won't, but some will. And that's the difference. Is like there are places where you've got to eventually try to find middle ground, and that's a complicated conversation to have because these are very important issues, and I understand the passion, like especially with like abortion rights. Come on, like it's because most of the people who have problems with abortion rights don't actually have a problem with it. They just want to keep fucking pushing the same
control
status quo, like that we have, and then they have supporters who think one way or another, usually because of religion.
Yeah, they push this ridiculous narrative that it's killing a child. Which, by the way, speaking of religion, the evangelical church was strongly pro-choice. Seriously. The evangelical church, evangelical Christianity, was strongly pro-choice for a very long time. The abortion debate was a very Catholic issue. And the evangelicals were like, we're not fucking being involved in this. Clearly, the Bible is all about freedom and free choices and things like that. And so, like, we're cool with that. It wasn't until, I think it was during the Reagan administration, if I remember correctly, that it started being this whole, Christian hoopla, where now we have all these people.
Infected you with the word hoopla.
I like hoopla.
Hoopla. Yeah, you would like hoopla.
All these religious people talking about fucking how Jesus doesn't want us to kill babies, even though he never said anything of the sort.
So sleepy. He never said don't kill babies?
Never said it, man.
He might have been like, just don't kill things and stuff.
I don't even think he said that.
No, he was like, I kill everything. I'm Jesus.
He did say that, actually.
Oh.
He said something very similar to that.
He's going to come back and do that, right?
Yeah, no, he said...
Jesus, killer of all things. And
he said, I come not to bring peace, but a sword.
When did he talk about how he wasn't... When did he admit that he wasn't...
He never said he was God. He said he was God's son. He said he was God's messenger, but he never said he was God.
I know, but I don't know if he ever said any of that.
Oh, no, he probably didn't exist, but like...
Yeah, because I think he's just the son.
Like the son?
Yeah, the son.
You think Jesus is the...
Yeah, I think the whole thing is probably just a fucking story. I think it's probably just an allegory for the sun.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely that. Yeah. We can all get on that same page, yeah.
Oh, we can't. I've tried. I've tried being like, yeah, it's a story about a son, right? And just the son. And they're like, yeah, the son of God. And I'm like, no, it's just the son.
Yeah, it's just astrology.
And then winter.
It got way too fucking difficult.
Comes back. Yeah. I guess for some reason they thought people would forget about the seasons if they didn't make it super complicated. Anyway. So I segued us a little bit on that.
No, you're fine.
Tangent. It's frustrating when it like dictates so many parts of my reality.
Mm-hmm. And it sucks because, like, I've read more of the goddamn book than most of the people out here pushing this bullshit have. And, like, I don't give a shit what it says because I'm not Christian. And so you're out here talking about, like, oh, we have to have freedom of religion. So that means you have to obey the Christian laws. And it's like, what? What?
You can do that as long as your obeying of the Christian laws doesn't fuck with my not obeying of the Christian laws.
Exactly. My religion is to not have your religion. How's that sound?
And to be fair, I'm going to obey most of the ones you probably want me to anyway.
Yeah.
Like the ones you seriously want your neighbors to obey, like not like killing you or your family while you sleep. Like that one, I'll do that for you. Don't worry about it.
I
like some of the commandments. Only some.
A couple of them are okay.
Only some. And when I say commandments, I mean like I just kind of have a natural inclination to not do certain things.
I don't like fucking the 10 Commandments are the most fucking bullshit. All versions of the 10 Commandments are fucking stupid. There's I think there's either 3 or 4 different versions in the Bible.
In
the Book of Exodus,
all
they
of
give
the
them like
old
3
laws
times.
that people wrote down on rocks are kind of stupid. They were trying to get a bunch of cave people to stop doing cave people shit. Hammurabi's laws or whatever. Fuck, come on. How many of those were like, that's a good one? 10? Not even. I'm pretty sure like a lot of those rules were just like, and I will cut off their heads.
Yeah. Do you know what a real actual law in the Bible is? A real actual rule in the Bible is that if 2 men are fighting, like physically fighting each other, and a woman tries to break up the fight and tries to separate them, and in doing so, she accidentally touches one of their penises, you have to cut off her hand. That is a real, actual law in the Bible. How is this the fucking moral guidebook of America that we need to look up to?
Let me explain what happened, though, okay? So, like, two guys, one lady.
There's a story.
They're both naked.
Yeah.
She's naked. They get mad because they accidentally got... I don't know what happened. You know, like, because they're all naked together in the same room, so obviously they're fine with that. I think somebody just, like, tripped, and I don't know what happened. For some reason, though, these two gentlemen are angry about this encounter they're having. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it started off pleasant.
Yep, yeah. They're all naked.
Little threesome action. Little, we're going to run the train.
Some sort of Bronze Age menage a trois going on.
On this lady next to the well or whatever they do back then. And they're getting it on. They're about to get started. And then something sets dude one off. And dude one and dude two start fighting. And she's like, guys, come on. We're trying to fuck. They accidentally fucking slaps both their dicks.
Just slaps a wiener. Smacks it around.
And then they didn't know what they should do about that. So they went and they talked to some asshole like Solomon. And he's like, I don't know, I'm pretty high.
You should probably cut that bitch's hand off.
Yeah.
The Bible.
that's
how it happens.
And I'll go even a step further because I do think the Bible is somewhat of a historical account for certain things, though I think it's blatantly fucked off because it's a mythical story. But there are some historical figures mentioned in it, just like a lot of other texts you'll find from a long time ago to lend credibility.
Yeah.
But like it's an ancient world name drop, you know? Like if you can be like, oh yeah, and fucking Hercules was there.
Oh shit. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he knew Hercules.
Oh man.
But like, so you know, there's that aspect to it.
The whole Bible is just fucking lip service to a bunch of fucking old like folklore.
A lot of it does seem like them taking things that already existed and just this. I'm not saying anything new.
Yeah, of course not.
They're taking old stories and then putting new names on them,
and just bastardizing them, making them something spin. Which is the same shit we do today. There's no shame in that. Fucking how many times we made fucking
not really. If you can just understand it, because that's what humans do with stories. Is we like to take a story that we like and we like to say, I want to tell it my way, and then we do that.
Right. That's what fucking that's what kills me. Is like I said a second ago, Cyrano de Bergerac is an example of that, and that is probably the most blatant. Like every fucking half a generation, we remake fucking Cyrano de Bergerac. And I love the story. It was one of my favorite plays when I was a kid. But like fucking
lay it on me.
Okay, so did you watch? So there's a new one coming out. It's called Roxanne with Peter Dinklage. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's Cyrano de Bergerac. Is the story.
I just saw the trailer, but I don't.
Yeah, I have no idea what the story is going to be, like how they're going to handle it. But it is the story of Cyrano de Bergerac. So is that movie. Roxy, I think, or something like that. It was like this young adult teen movie with the kid with the really big nose. And it was like a Disney Channel movie. And then there was one Steve Martin was in called Roxanne, which had this guy with this really big nose, and like that there was, and all of it is this old fucking play called Cyrano de Bergerac, which is about a dude with a really big nose who loves this woman named Roxanne, and he wants to get with Roxanne, but he has a really big nose. But he's like an expert fucking swordsman, and he's a beautiful linguist, and he's insanely intelligent, and he's this awesome fucking guy who just has a really big nose, and so he's been socially outcast his whole life. And he loves this woman named Roxanne, and Roxanne will have nothing to do with him because he has a really big nose. But there's this other dude who's like this young, strapping, handsome guy that Roxanne's all about, and he's all about Roxanne, but he's dumb as a bag of sand. And so Cyrano de Bergerac writes all of these beautiful poetic letters for this guy and signs that guy's name on the bottom.
Story.
Yeah, and the woman falls in love with that guy and tells Cyrano, like, oh, his writing and his words are so perfect and so beautiful, and I can tell how much he loves me in the way that he writes, and I love him so much because of these letters and these letters alone. And then later on, you're like, oh, the guy didn't write it. And there's that whole scene where the guy's standing under the window, like, acting like he's talking to the woman, and Cyrano is actually, like, in the shadows, like, yelling up at the lady sweet, beautiful things, because the guy can't remember how to say words, because he's dumb as a fucking sack of snails. And so, like, that's the whole story. And, like, it's an amazing play. It was one of my favorites when I was young, and it's remade every 10 years. They make another one.
So Dinklage is the dude in the bush, right?
Yeah, Peter Dinklage is playing Cyrano. Yeah, I don't know if that's actually what they're naming him. I don't know anything about the movie other than that is absolutely what the story is.
I would think he would. Yeah, I don't know.
You can tell from watching 10 seconds of the trailer that that's what the story is.
Yeah, it did seem like along those lines.
But
he
yeah,
was sword fighting.
Was there any sword fighting in it?
I think so.
Probably so.
I think that's why I was looking at it. I was like, he's got a sword again. Mm-hmm. Dinklage with a sword.
If you are out there watching or listening to this, and you ever want a good time, go fucking watch. Go on the YouTube.
Call this number.
Go watch Cyrano de Bergerac, like the old one, like the black and white one. I forgot who's in it, but it's awesome and it's funny and it's great. And the guy has a super deep voice and he's just radical. Also, go watch fucking Don Giovanni. This is completely off topic, but Don Giovanni is my favorite opera, and it's great. And not enough people watch operas and enjoy them. They're wonderful.
Forrest made me watch Don Giovanni when we were in high school, and then I became cultured.
Did I make you watch that?
Yeah.
Was it the one with fucking Sam Raimi?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, it was like the Salzburg Festival one.
It wasn't like that old, I don't think.
No, it was from like the 80s.
It wasn't like the original.
No, well, yeah.
Not the, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, no, when I say original, I mean like it wasn't like a black and white version of that play.
Yeah,
I know that you couldn't possibly show me the original.
This is the one that played in Vienna. But yeah, no, it's all. I think
this is Mozart's first, like ever.
Anything
song on the piano. He was 8.
He was into it. Anything with Samuel Raimi. Not the Sam Raimi made the Spider-Man, but Samuel Raimi is my favorite opera singer. He's this bass baritone dude, right?
God, seriously, it was the same.
Isn't Sam Raimi also? Is it a different Sam Raimi that made Evil Dead, or was that the same guy who made Spider-Man?
I don't know. I think it's the same guy.
Is it just a super common name?
Well, it's hard to say because people in Hollywood, you'll think they're like 20 years old, and then you'll be like, "Oh my God, it's a picture of him with fucking
Copernicus."
That's Red Skelton. If any of you know who that is without a fucking Google search, then I'll give you one. That's it.
Yeah, man.
They get one.
That's the same Sam Raimi. He made Spider-Man and the Evil Dead franchise. Nice. That's great.
That kind of makes sense.
But yeah, no, Sam Raimi.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe's fucking Green Goblin is beginning to make a lot more sense.
Seriously. But Samuel Raimi, R-A-M-E-Y.
Spider-Man 3 is beginning to make a lot more sense.
What they should have done is put the fucking opera singer in the Spider-Man as one of the villains. That would have been radical.
Oh my God. Okay, tell us about Don Giovanni.
Well, fuck. I won't tell the whole story of it right now unless you want to.
If they don't know the story of Don Giovanni, I don't know. Well, you know what? Actually,
it's a phenomenal story.
I want to talk about spoilers in a second. Let's finish this conversation first.
I slapped the shit out of the microphone. Sam Raimi, the opera singer, R-A-M-E-Y. He's my favorite opera singer. He's awesome, and he did the Salzburg Festival. He played Don Giovanni, and it was one of the best fucking of the whole. Like it was the best version of it.
Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin.
And Willem Dafoe was in it, and it was great. And it was awesome, and fucking you can find it online, I'm pretty sure for free, and watch it with subtitles, and it's just a silly ass fucking awesome opera with great music, and it's a lot of fun, and it's insane.
It is really good music.
Oh my God, it's the best. It's the best. Because, like, Rigoletto's got really good music, but fucking Verdi loves to use recitative out the goddamn ass. And so you listen to the same song three times by the time the fucking song's over. And so, like, just Mozart's catchy as dicks. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say about it. But, like, we were talking about Cyrano de Bergerac, so I figured if you're looking for another cool-ass old thing to watch, Don Giovanni is my favorite. It's radical. It's my favorite opera in the whole world, and you get stuck in my head forever. Especially right at the end, right before the big finale. He's having dinner, and there's like a quick succession of little tunes, which are like inside jokes. Don Giovanni is sitting in his house having dinner, and he's got his band playing. and the band plays like this song from another opera called Cosa Rara, which is about a guy named Don Giovanni who behaves the same way, and it's just an older opera. And he's like, oh, what do you think of the music? Liparello, my servant. And the servant Liparello's like, oh, it suits you perfectly, sir. And it's like, it's just kind of a bunch of little silly tongue-in-cheek
like
jokes.
The audience would have laughed. Is that basically?
Yeah, it would have been a silly joke.
It's like kind of like
time.
a wrap-up scene at the end of it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Before the real end of it. That's
right.
kind of funny.
It's cool.
Especially considering how it ends, if I remember correctly.
It ends in fucking violent chaos. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's radical, dude. It's an awesome show. And there's so many parts in there which are just over the top insane, because the whole thing, without any spoilers, I won't spoil it for you, but the whole thing is that there's this dude named Don Giovanni, and he's rich as fuck, and he just
figured that out.
And he just fucks women. He's a lecherous old hump, and he goes around and seduces women and just fucks them and then leaves. And they're all like, I'm ruined! My life is over because I done been fucked by Don Giovanni. And then by the end of the play, the entire city is literally trying to kill him. Like, they're barging into his house with guns and swords, trying to fucking murder him. And he's just like sneaking out the back door like a fucking cartoon villain, twirling his mustache, going, ah! And they're like, he's escaped, the scoundrel!
Fucked your wife.
I fucked your wife and I ran. That actually happens.
That's fucking
with what's her name? Zarelina. That happens with her.
It's the oldest problem in the world.
It's so fucking funny.
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote is another great story. If you don't know Don Quixote,
second Don.
The other Don. Don Quixote is one of my favorite fucking literary characters.
That one also gets remade a lot.
Yeah, Don Quixote. It just remade all the time.
Personally, I would like to do my own retelling of that story some way, some form later in the future, because it's just perfect. It's fucking perfect. Like, it's amazing.
Don Quixote is why to this day I still like. There have been several times on
it's just one of my favorite stories, dude.
It's great. Go watch fucking Man of La Mancha. It's a musical, Man of La Mancha, and it's a great retelling of the first book of Don Quixote.
Yelling at them to go watch things for like 25
go watch
minutes.
these things that aren't this shitty podcast. Turn this shit off and go watch Cyrano de Bergerac, Don Quixote, and Man of La Mancha. Go watch those instead.
This is the loudest conversation we've ever had.
Just peek, 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 peek.
What happened at the end of this show?
Right? We just fucking went off the rails about better film.
Lost our fucking
better
mind.
media. We just got excited about it. Oh my god. But yeah, dude, go fucking watch those and then report back in the comment section.
Let us know what your favorite musical or opera is in the comment section.
Smash that like button if you're a cultured
subscribe.
Swine. Oh man,
they're all good though. Musicals are good too. I don't give a fuck. I love musicals, man.
There's this one part right at the end of Don Quixote or Don Giovanni. It's in that section where he's having dinner at home, and this gets stuck in my head every time, and I don't know why. It's so stupid. Don Giovanni's sitting there eating, and his servant Liparello is really hungry. And that's the whole song. There's like a 5-minute stretch of music.
Not funny.
There's like a 5-minute stretch where he's saying like, he's taking such big bites and I'm over here weak with hunger. And Don Giovanni's like, I'm eating, and he's weak with hunger. And Don Liparello's like, I'm so weak with hunger. And Don Giovanni's like, he's so weak with hunger. And he just keeps eating, and it just goes on for like 5 minutes. And it's a great song.
This is stuff, like, when I hear about this scene that was made so long ago, reminds me, these are things where I'm like, I'm proud to be a human in that moment.
Yes,
like, there's always that asshole.
Yeah.
Who's like, I think I could make this joke and hopefully it'll make enough of the rich people laugh that they won't like fucking drag me through court and kill me.
And now here we are, hundreds of years later.
Art has always just been like this thing where people. That's why I don't understand when these fucking assholes are like, art shouldn't make any kind of statement. I'm like, what are you talking about?
That's what art's for. That's the whole point of it.
Even if it's kind of fucked up, but if art isn't making a statement, that's a statement.
Exactly. Exactly. It's existing just to exist, just to prove that that's possible, and that makes a point.
Yeah, I would say I make most of my art has absolutely no point. I would say because of the fucking way human psychology works, all art has meaning, but even the people who make it might not even know what their own meaning was.
Yeah.
When they put it on the thing or whatever. So on the canvas or the track or there's so many ways to create art. Some people go glue rocks together in the woods and destroy nature.
Making like fucking cairns. Yeah. That's such a problem.
But it's also still cool. It's still art, and it's a problem.
Exactly, and it's subversive in that way. So I guess it's important.
It's subversive in the way. It's like,
yeah.
I'm gonna make art. I'm gonna pour I'm gonna draw a big image with gasoline in the rainforest.
Have you seen that?
And then light it on fire.
Have you seen that
to
dude
protest
who's making the fucking
the gas being poured
in the forest on fire? Yeah. To protest forest fires, I'm gonna go set this fucking forest on fire to show you how I'm beating it.
That is how some environmental extremism works.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go that way, which I wonder if they're not just paid by the government at that point. I don't know.
Have you seen that dude?
Like when they're like, I'm not blow up the pipeline. It's like, no. That's worse than building it.
Yeah, you see the damage you're causing to everything here. You see that dude in, I believe, Scandinavia who's making the Fat Island? He's just got a dock.
Hold on, tell me about this Fat Island.
He's an artist, and he just really thinks fat is cool. And so he's got
the chemical fat.
Like fat. Like
fat
oils.
Tissue.
Yeah, oil, lipids. Yeah.
Lipids, okay. Good.
And
lipids are good. You got to suck them out with a straw, and then they throw that in the garbage.
He's just got like
Brad
a straight
Pitt
up
makes soap out of it.
like a dock.
Fight Club.
And there's this
Chapter 2, book
fucking
15.
lake or whatever.
I'm done.
And he's just pouring fat into this and making this pile.
Is he allowed to do that?
I'm looking it up. Like he's got just like a straight.
Is he allowed to do that?
I mean, I guess he is. Yeah.
Is it? I mean, it's biodegradable.
It's not like it's fucking like.
It's probably not good for the environment.
2 Netherlands-based designers have begun building an island made of congealed fat in Amsterdam, with plans to tow it to the Arctic once it has reached a suitable girth. That is literally the headline here. And here's I'll see if I can get a picture of it. Oh, it is just a blob of fucking fat floating in the water. I'll put it up on the screen right here. It's just a fucking blob of fat. Last I saw it was
art. Because that's a weak blob of fat. They need to try harder.
Blob.
And I also want to know if they're going to tow it.
Well, last I saw it was bigger than this. But, I guess...
I would hope so.
I'm guessing it's not.
You should be able to get an island of fat bigger than that in 20 minutes.
This just looks like a solid fat ball. You know what I mean?
We could build a lot bigger fat
I guess there's more of it underwater, and that's just a part you're seeing. Because, these pictures make it look...
Like an iceberg?
Yeah, like it's a fatberg, which is a different thing entirely. But it looks like there's more of it continuing under the water.
When you say a different thing entirely, would you care to elaborate on that?
A fatberg is when people flush a bunch of baby wipes and they pour their bacon grease and stuff down the pipes, and you end up with all of those things. I always do
those at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
I flush the wipes and the grease down the toilet.
At the same time together. I poop bacon grease.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
I would have to if I keep drinking it like I do.
But in sewer pipes, there end up being these massive piles of fucking non-degradable, non-breakdownable things like baby wipes and whatnot, all held together with all of the congealed fat and oils that people pour down. And it's called a fatberg, and they block up pipes, and they take millions of dollars to break down.
On the baby wipes, on the baby wipes package it says, do not flush.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now millions of dollars to break up the fatberg.
Yeah, it costs a lot of money to go down there and break up these fat, and they do damage to pipes and they block up sewer systems.
I bet they do.
People have to go down there with huge pressure washers and tear chunks off. Oh shit, the thing died again.
Yeah. What's up with the, like, because when you just, not even just fatbergs, there's so much other shit that we flush down the toilet. And this is something we'll have to do a whole episode on probably.
Goldfish,
but
alligators.
Like everything goes
Children.
down there. And then, like, that eventually goes back out to the streams and the rivers and shit, right? Or something.
Well, it goes through processing plants first. Like, you don't just dump raw sewage in it. I guess some places do. But, like...
Some places do.
Yeah.
Most places don't because of what happened a long time ago.
Have you seen the fucking Ganges?
I think when we start talking about it, I'll remember it. Where's it at?
In India.
Yeah, they bathe in it and shit.
Yeah, they bathe. It's
It sucks because, like, the people in India aren't, like, dumb.
No, well, it's a holy site. It's a sacred holy river,
Yeah.
And so people are
But,
bathing
like, they
in
still
it
get sick.
and brushing their teeth in it and taking and like playing in it and drinking from it while also dumping all of their waste in it. And there's these huge. You can see pictures now of these huge like foamy thing. It looks like someone's playing with bath soap. Like there's these huge like fucking foam piles running down the river, and that's actually like chemical waste and shit that's just like foaming up in the water, and people are just in there with it, and it blows. Public defecation is also a serious issue
why aren't
in
they
these communities.
fixing that?
There's a lot of reasons. There's nothing we can talk about now. We're already running over time.
I know, it's just so weird to me because they're not, like, they know that they shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
Like, there's enough people that live there that know that that's unhealthy, and it's like they can't convince the government to, like, take action and make sanitation a thing. Like,
I think it's a really...
Is it infrastructure?
I think it's a deeply complex problem that we're going to have to tear into next week.
Is it like... I get that it's a sacred site or whatever.
Right. No, I don't think you're being over here like, why don't they just clean up their shitty river? Like, I get that. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot to it, yo.
I'm saying the river's fine, just stop getting in it.
Stop getting in it. Get out of there. Get out of the Ganges.
They produce some of the most intelligent people in the world. There's no way.
Oh, man.
It is crazy to think, like, brain drain and stuff. That's something we should talk about sometime.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We just steal smart people, and then we're like, we should stop, and then we could get jobs as doctors, and it's like, oh, yeah?
Go do it. It, smarty pants. Man.
Can you imagine if all of our doctors were just Americans? God damn.
It'd be very rough. We're not bright over here. Fucking,
we have a lot of potential.
For real, though, thanks so much for listening, and go watch those better things. And next week, we'll get into all of the complicated cultural topics that we are currently really glossing over.
They have one of the coolest holidays where they throw the fucking dye at each other.
Oh, it's I believe it's actually called like Holi.
Yeah.
Yeah, HOLI, I think.
Yeah. I know it's in my calendar, but
yeah.
It's when I try to celebrate it here, I get in trouble.
Well, it's another one of those things where fucking like, white people on spring break want to go over there and fucking participate and then not understand what they're actually doing or why they're doing it and just kind of shit all over.
I just want to make a holiday here where we do that.
Because it looks radical.
Yeah, I don't
absolutely,
even care if like we, like, I just want to steal the idea.
Yeah, it's like fucking...
of everybody fucking throwing colors at each other and shit.
Well,
why the fuck wouldn't you want to do that?
It's like Dia de los Muertos. It's like, man, I don't give a fuck about my dead relatives, but a whole day for just thinking about death sounds rad. And I get that that's not what the point is, but that sounds really cool.
Yeah, we don't really have any holidays here where everybody's just like fucking running around having fun.
Yeah.
You could maybe count Halloween Eve.
Yeah, I guess. Halloween Eve.
Halloweenies. That's when you cook your hot dogs in the nighttime. It's time to go.
Let me know in the comments if you read In the Land of the Lawn Weenies. It was a short horror anthology book for young adults. And if you read it and enjoyed it, tell me in the comments. I think there was another one as well, like the Road Weenies or something like that.
I just want to. It's time I'm gonna go home and watch them break into the Bellagio, the MGM Grand, and the third one.
While they cross 11 oceans? that what it is?
You've seen the movie.
I've never seen the movie.
I'm convinced you've seen the movie.
I've never seen the movie. Yeah. I also got to go to bed because I got to get the right half of my mouth dentist.
Oh shit! Yeah, you do. All right.
I'll see you guys
This has
next
been
week.
fantastic. Let me know in the comments if you like to do the cha-cha.
And also the whole thing about the weenies. Tell me about the anthology books.
No, fuck him and
Tell
his
me that
thing.
one. That's what I want to know.
I want to know about the...
And go watch the other shit. Don Giovanni and Cyrano de Bergerac and Don Man of La Mancha.
Oh, if any of you like musicals, tell me some good musicals I should watch.
You put a lot of shit in the comments.
Put anything you want in there.
Yeah, really. Just fucking load up those comments.
Cryptic. The more cryptic, the better. I like that.
We have several people that comment at least once a week.
Binary code, 0s and 1s are fun.
Comment at least 3 times as much as you normally would.
If you don't end every sentence with an exclamation point, I will not be able to read it.
I want this video to have at least 300 comments. Like, just go fucking nuts. Have fun with it. Tell me if you like dates. I've been into dates lately. I feel like an old woman just sitting around the house eating dates, and they're
okay,
delicious.
good. I was gonna say, like, you're in a committed relationship. I don't. I hope you're talking about dates with that person.
I went to the store and I bought a bag of dates and a bag of prunes, and I've just been over here munching on them, feeling like a fucking old son of a bitch.
That is what you would be.
Consuming dried fruits from the fucking 20s like a
dates aren't
monster.
Very good.
They're great. They're great. I can't get enough of them.
They're not from the 20s. All right, it's been fun. I
Send
love
me
you.
some
And I'm
dates.
Ben. I didn't say I'm Ben once
my
on this
P.O. box.
fucking
Send me some
shit-ass
fucking
show.
dates, some organic dates from Amazon. Have a good day. Goodbye.
What a show. What a guy. What a show.
What a show we have.
What a show.
We do a great
Holy
job.
shit, people love the show.
People love the show.
I don't think I said that. I think I left that up to you. Did you text me?